Yo, 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 yo. Free to play account is so much fun right now. I'm hitting like what I feel is like a stride where my tunes are coming along great. I'm like a month and a half into this and I'm absolutely loving it. Let me tell you what I have been figuring out as I go through this. Let's get started.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a DC Legends video. In this video, free to play, week number 6. Like and let me go ahead and get over here on this side of things so that I keep my notes over here now, so I can I'm trying to be more professional. So I got my notes over here with the things that I want to cover. But the free to play account has been fun. I'm happy that the Abin Sur event has started. Now here's the thing: you heard me say a lot of terrible things about Abin Sur in the April preview, all of which are true. Okay, like I don't know how many resources I'm gonna put into Abin Sur, but now, and this is something that somebody brought up to me, so I do a roster advice, and so that's one of those things of where you send me your roster, you send me screenshots of your roster, and then I'll analyze it. And my Patreon, Luis Valencia, shout out, dude. He actually had me do a roster advice for him. And so I did a whole video centered around that. He sent me the images of his roster, and I told him what I think he should do, what he shouldn't. If you guys want something similar, just buy me a coffee. There's a link below. If you buy me the coffee, then one of the perks is that I'll do a roster advice episode based on your roster. Then I'll put it on YouTube. Anyway, so now I understand, which I got it when he said it, but now I'm in that position of I saw that he had like Vandal Savage leveled up on his account, and I was like, please stop putting any resources into Vandal Savage immediately. And then later he sent me a message and he was like, yeah, I had to do that because he was one of the few tunes that I had. And I was like, I get your point. Now, Abin Sur, he is going to be my Vandal Savage, okay? Basically, I'm going to have to take him L1, L2, or L3 just because on this scale of tunes that I have, as you can see here, Arsenal, lucked up. When I joined the game, I was able to get him L1. Punchline, I lucked up. I started the game in March, and Punchline is a beast. Talon, I lucked up. He's going to have a PvP week coming in 3 weeks, and so I'm going to be able to take him L2, actually, based on the rewards I'm going to get from that. So I lucked up. I think it's going to be L2. It might be just L1 now that I think about it. It depends on what I get from... oh, no, I'm not going to be getting anything from raids. So it will just be L1. I should get 195 of his frags. 90 plus 130 is going to make it 210. So I won't be able to get up to... 220? 130 plus 90 equals 220. Apologies, guys. And so I won't be able to get up to that level unless I can find like 30 something frags of him like somewhere. Anyway, regardless of the point. So I lucked up. I'm going to be able to take him. Now comes the bad luck portion. I mean, even Batman to a certain degree, they put you in the position to have enough frags for him to be L1 basically immediately. That's marketing. Like, Batman is one of the most popular characters in the game. Same thing with Superman. They changed this from when I first started the game, but now I'll have enough frags to take... Where are you? I literally just saw you. But I'll have enough frags, I think. I think I have enough frags now to take him R5, and then I think once I complete heroic campaign, which I haven't worked on or focused on at all yet, because I've been more worried about like getting frags and like diversifying and lifting up my tunes. But then I'll probably be able to take him like L1 again by marketing design. Of course, you want to have, if I'm designing a game based on comic book characters, give me the 3 most famous: Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Make sure that their L1 is some of the strongest because the majority of people are going to know them and like playing with them. Green Lantern should also be kind of up there, but he's not. Sorry, he's not on the level of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Everybody knows that. In terms of popularity and actual coolness and being an interesting comic book character. Sorry, I know I'm jabbing at the lanterns. I'm sorry. I'm just doing that just to be spiteful. All right, I'm a jerk. I'm really a jerk. So yeah, of course you get those frags out of the gate, and you have a lot of them, and you can take them L1. You know, like that's fine. But now you're getting to the point of where you're having to diversify your roster, and you're trying to lift up, or at least me, diversifying my roster, and then trying to take up the tunes that are going to have higher rankings, that are going to be L1, L2, L3. Why is that important? Because when it comes to the legendary abilities, the tunes perform differently, the amount of legendary abilities they get. Punchline is an absolute monster at L3, not so much at R5. That's just how it's supposed to be designed. And it's not even worth it taking her to L4, L5, but once you get into those legendary points and the legendary things that you want, Arsenal would be far better if I could take him L3 or L4. Just the way it is. So a Ben Sor is going to be much better when I take him up to L2, L3, whatever. So I have to kind of pick and choose the abilities I think were going to be good, and then just use him because I know now he's a bonus tune this month, and I know for a fact he's going to be a bonus tune in May. So if I want to make any progress in May, or like substantial progress in May, a Ben Sor and Ultraviolet John Stewart are going to have to get a good amount of my resources and be leveled up a good amount, and I'm going to have to pursue their frags in order to progress in my account. So I was able to get to, I think, like the second to last node on the Ben Sor event. I'm going to go ahead and knock that out eventually. Like, I haven't been able to get past it, but as I level up tunes, I think I still have a few days in the event, like a week. I should be able to get them up to the level where I can complete that. So that'll be a plus. Next up, the Heroic Blitz was a nightmare. I did not realize how many villains I was relying on for my teams, especially since my entire team is driven by Lex. Since my entire team is driven by Lex and his ability to heal us and give that turn meter up, I took this legendary ability because I want that turn meter and the increased crit chance for all allies, meaning that my entire team is going to move faster as people are buffing. Because I wanted that ability, and because I'm so reliant on him being the car to the vehicle that is like the vehicle to like this machine that I'm trying to build. He's like the shell, and everybody's inside of it going for a ride. Jesse Quick was the motor. I'm having to like she's slowly but surely falling off my roster right now, out of my starting lineup. But because I was relying on him for PvP and for red alerts, like he has been the entirety of my support through those things and why I'm able to progress as far as I have, the Hero Blitz was a nightmare. But I have, and I will continue to, I have Wonder Woman. Now, and I'm going to give you this strategy in a minute. So I was using Wonder Woman in Hero Blitz, and I did decently well for free to play. I got 2,000 gems out of it, so that was a plus. So I did decently well with her, and in fact, I can just show you the team that I ran. I think it should still be up. Nope, is it not? Yeah, ooh, no, I think I've already taken it down. I've already admitted, but it was basically like Wonder Woman at lead, Superboy, Arsenal, and I cannot remember who the fourth was. And it might have just been mix and match. All I know is that Wonder Woman was the main lead because of her ability to, let's go ahead and go here. This here, Fury of Zeus, and that heavy damage of purging 3 buffs would help you against a Superman or a Green Lantern or any of those tunes, but also team lead ability at the end of the turn, 70% chance to use Fury of Zeus, purge again, if no allies have a buff, or Power of Truth if all allies have a buff. Now, this is the other thing too. I do run her off lead with Lex a fair amount, especially if I'm running into Punchline or Chemo, because I'm going to use her Power of Truth in order to purge those debuffs off. However, when she's at lead and she's doing that on her own, it's awesome because it's very hard for you to keep debuffs on, for them, the enemy, to keep debuffs on you, which is great. Helps you out a lot in getting through these levels. So I have been using Wonder Woman at lead. I do like using her at lead. I think she's an awesome tune as I mess up all my notes. I do think that she is an awesome tune, especially for free to play, starting off early to mid game. So my focus now has switched over to, I have my Lex L1. So of course I'm gonna farm his frags, but now he was the first priority. First thing I do when I woke up was First thing I did when I woke up every morning was I would immediately go to Lex, go to that find tab, and then I would go ahead and find his frags and then just use all the energy I could on that. Now that is what I do with Wonder Woman. First thing I do when I wake up is I go ahead and just farm her frags there. I've not stopped, but now Green Lantern is already R5. So he's R5. Wonder Woman's R5. I'm going to prioritize Wonder Woman over Green Lantern because she's a bit more devastating in the early and mid game than Green Lantern is. Green Lantern will be the next L1. As soon as I get done with taking Wonder Woman L1, then I'm taking Green Lantern L1. And I'm just going to do this cycle of Lex L2, then Wonder Woman L2, then Green Lantern L2. I'm just going to keep cycling it through like that until I get to whatever level I want to, or until I give the count away. So that is Wonder Woman POT. Now where are we? Next is that is my notes on Knighthood. Coming soon. I've been saying that for like a month and a half now. It's coming though, I promise. For those of you who absolutely do not care about Knighthood, and I'm sure that's most of you. Yeah, so I gave you the roster plan. Oh, and I need to give you the roster planning based on gear. So I've already given you the whole spiel on Batman, and again, Batman is going to be one of those like early game, kind of in the mid game, but he's going to fall off very quickly, especially I think when I get Booster Gold leveled up. Booster Gold right now, I just need 5 fracks to take him R5. So basically, we're 4 fracks. So basically, if I get 94 fracks, he's already L1. And he might, at that point, already replace Batman. It just depends. It really does depend. So here's my strategy. Now, if you noticed, let me go back. You probably didn't. What I've done is, there's no filters left. Something's wrong. Oh, no. Nothing's wrong. My apologies. So if you notice here, 4 of my top 5 tunes are Mystics. Now, the reason why that's the case is because today's Monday, as I'm recording this, and so there's a Mystical Archive event. So what I've decided to do is, I am not, and I mentioned this in the video before, and I kind of want to hammer this point home, I am not focused on whether they're level 50 gear 9, level 60 gear 10, whatever. I do not give a damn about that. What I'm looking at is their power level. Wonder Woman, 3,500. Azrael, Ra's al Ghul, 3,500. Enchantress, 3,500. Eclipso, 3,500. What I've been doing is they're getting up to level 50, right? She's going to be level 50 gear 9 very soon, which means I'm going to have to stop on her. Like, I'm going to leave her. I'm not going above 50 gear 9. So this is going to be her space right there. For the others, like, he's not even gear 8 yet. He's like 6.5 at this moment. So the reason that's what I'm doing is that these 4 mystics are higher up because we have this archive event going on right now. So every time I have an archive event going forward with the gems, I'm going to take about 500 gems and invest those in farming the gears and then lifting that group, that affinity group, up beyond the affinity group that was before it. So next on my list is, right now I have all of them at level 3,500. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Lex, I'm going to take Superboy, I'm going to take Green Lantern, I'm going to take Mr. Freeze, or a Ben Sewer. I might do all 5 of them, leaning towards just 4 of them, but I might do all 5 of them, and I'm going to try to get them up to level 3,600, 3,700, in that range. And then when Friday hits and the physicals go, then I'm going to try to get them up to levels, 3,800, 3,700, right in there. Hopefully not deplenishing my resources. I'll do that with Talon, Punchline, Arsenal, Batman, maybe Booster Gold if there's an event in the meantime. But that's what I'm doing. So every time there is a gear event happening, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sounds familiar, right? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when there's a gear event happening, I am literally just going to take that affinity group, those 4 tunes from that affinity group, and level them up until all of them are at level level 50 gear 9. And once that's done, then I'll work on bringing the rest of the roster up, unless I find like a Booster Gold, unless I have another talent that comes in, unless there's a Vixen that I see and I'm like, let me go ahead and level her up. The reason why Vixen is not leveled up is because I've already met my gem allowance for the day on the Mysticals 500. And it's not a hard allowance. I'm not going to ground myself, but it's like in that area. And in order for me to get her up to level 500, 3,500, I'm going to have to give her a fair amount of gear to get her to that point. And I'm not going to be putting any more levels into her because she's already almost level 50. She's only R4. So I'll just be patient, wait till she has another event coming up, which is what I use the DC Legends Toolkit calendar for. I just checked, and I might just do this now if it's at all possible. In fact, it won't be possible for me to do that, so I'm just going to let it ride. But I went there today, and I checked the calendar tells you, the Red Alerts calendar tells you on DC Legends Toolkit who's coming, when, on what day, so I can plan around that and say, okay, well, look, I have 1,100 gems right now, okay? I haven't done Red Alerts yet. Now I went ahead and farmed, but let's say today I just had 1100. I've already farmed, I think, actually now I look at the numbers, I think I had 1800, and so I've probably used 700 thereabouts today. So I've already done what I was going, let's say I just woke up, right? It's Monday, just woke up, I got 1100, all right? Now my plan is to keep a minimum of 900 gems for red alerts, because when I reset red alerts, I want to be able to reset it once or twice, depending on what's at the top of that reward ladder. What's that node 12, right? So when I'm going into this gearing thing, I'm gonna go ahead, keep farming going after the gems, going after the gems, going after the gems. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, allowance is gonna be about 500. And then check red alerts to lift those tunes up. Check red alerts, and then I'm seeing, okay, I got Manta. I'm not really working on Manta right now. All right, I got Assault Suit. Not really working on this Lex right now. Not saying that he's good or bad, but I got to keep my focus a bit narrow. And then next up is Black Mask. I'm not working on him at all right now. So those three, I'm not going to reset for. But let's say that this top node 25 was Enchantress. And then this node 8, which you guys have seen me go through, this node 8 was Superboy. I'm gonna want to reset that once, maybe twice. So I'm gonna try to keep a little bank of 900 gems so I can reset it once or twice. And in the meantime, the rest of my gem allocation is going to go towards the gears and trying to gear up those tunes. And then once I have my 12 at the top, which that should happen relatively soon, actually. Like once I have my 12 at the top, level 50, gear 9, all within that same range, then I can bring my other tunes like Vixen up to gear 50, level 50, gear 9, etc., etc., etc. So that is the process that I'm using right now. I did check Red Alert's calendar, and I think, let me go ahead and check really quickly. Where we at? Nope, not gonna show up there, is it? So let's just go DC Legends Toolkit. If you guys can ever forgive me for just checking this, because I want to be sure that I'm telling you the right things. You won't see it because I have a different setup when I run my free-to-play accounts, but I'm going to DC Legends Toolkit. I go to calendar, I see the Red Alerts calendar, and so I see that today, Black Manta, Lex, Black Flash, it tells you the areas. Tomorrow, Silver Banshee, Katana, Gorilla Grodd, very tempting. I'm not going after it, but very tempting. The following day, Ra's al Ghul, Gorilla Grodd, and Eclipso. That might be the one where I decide to reset twice. Get 50 of those frags. That takes me more than halfway up to taking him L1. Then the next day, Stripe, 5. He's at 5. I legit need 6 to be able to take him L1. And then Stripe doesn't show up again for like another week. No. Yeah, he shows up again like 4 days later at 25. So then there's a question. Do I want to reset it's going to be what? On April 7th when Stripe is number 5. Do I want to reset that and just make sure that he's L1 on that day? Only Steppenwolf and Beast Boy are the other two. I'm not really working on either one of those. So probably not. Save that 300 gems. Then the following day, Enchantress, Red Robin, and Black Manta are on April 8th. So like that's how I'm going through it. And then let me check Mr. Freeze real quick because I just saw that he has a day coming up on the 9th. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm doing where I'm like, all right, so how am I going to negotiate the gems? I'm going to plan it based on the calendar, see who's coming up. And then if I have like a tempting month, like if I have a tempting day, Jay Garrick, Mr. Freeze, and Katana. That's kind of tempting. I'm going to look at the following 2 or 3 days and say, all right, but if I reset this twice, that's 900 gems. Granted, it's not really 900 gems because you get 240 back, but let's just stick with the 900 gems. I'm going to use 900 gems there. Will I recover my gems in enough time for the Stripe event that's going to happen on April 11th? So April 9th, I could go after Katana and Mr. Freeze, or I could just hold it and then go after Stripe like 2 or 3 times because he's going to be the 25 frags there. And on top of it, I'll have Superboy, Jay Garrick, and Stripe all on that day that I can reset for. You know, I got to make that decision, but that's how I'm trying to plan around my gems and the ones that I'm going to level up. So that is my approach to the farming right now. That is what I'm looking for. Now I'm checking to make sure that I covered everything I wanted to. So yeah, that's it. So check out So like go ahead, check out the April preview that came out on Monday. Man Bat is gonna come out. Man Bat in-depth guide, which I've been pushing back. That's gonna come out on Friday, and then on Monday is gonna be my Alan Scott in-depth guide. So please like, please subscribe. I drop DC Legends videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I'll see you next time.